From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, November 26, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.28 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,072 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $354. Antiwar.com reports fighting continues to rage in the Yemeni Taiz province, with pro-Saudi forces suffering setbacks in a recent Houthi offensive against Dabab along the main supply route from the pro-Saudi fighters in the province. At least 47 were killed in fighting overnight in and around Dabab, including 2 civilians. The split of casualties between the two combatant sides is unclear and has tended to be subjective to dispute between the two factions. The two sides have been fighting over Taiz province for months, with the Houthis in Sana'a and the pro-Saudi forces in Aden. The city of Taiz represents both the front lines of the war and the largest city not conclusively in control of either side. In the past few weeks, the pro-Saudi side has claimed the advantage in the province and has taken a few towns around the periphery. The overnight raids suggest momentum may once again be shifting, and the war seems as stalemated as ever. In 1999, Daryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, "Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic." Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Daryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com. UPI reports Army General John Campbell, the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan, announced on Wednesday that multiple U.S. service members have been suspended over the bombing of the Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan. Campbell said the bombing of the hospital was the direct result of human error compounded by systems and procedural failures. Doctors Without Borders has sharply and continuously condemned the strike. Officials said on Tuesday that U.S. military targeted the Doctors Without Borders hospital in an airstrike last month because it mistook the building for a Taliban site from which fighters were firing at forces on the ground. Campbell said during a press conference on Wednesday, the medical facility was misidentified as a target by U.S. personnel who believed they were striking a different building several hundred meters away where there were reports of combatants. Military personnel who were closely involved in the Doctors Without Borders hospital bombing have been suspended, but Campbell did not identify them any further. Doctors Without Borders has said it believes the errant strike was a war crime and has asked for an independent investigation into the bombing, where at least 30 people died. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a Manhattan federal judge ruled on Wednesday that General Motors and its law firm need not turn over privileged documents to drivers hoping to show that the automaker intended to commit a crime or fraud by concealing defective ignition switches in their vehicles. Despite finding probable cause to believe that General Motors committed a crime or fraud by hiding the defect from regulators and the public, U.S. District Judge Jesse Furman found no showing that the automaker and King and Spalding produced the documents with an intent to further such misconduct. Most of the documents related to the law firm's advice from 2010 to 2013 on 3 crashes involving Chevy Cobalts. Vehicle owners said the deception justified a waiver of attorney-client privilege. Wednesday's decision is a victory for GM as it prepares for a January 11, 2016 bellwether trial over an ignition switch defect that could cause engines to stall and prevent airbags from deploying in crashes. The defects in Chevy Cobalts, Saturn Ions, and other vehicles has been linked to at least 124 deaths. 2 months ago, GM agreed to pay $900 million and enter a deferred prosecution agreement to end a related U.S. criminal probe. Furman cited that accord when discussing probable cause. Furman is overseeing more than 200 lawsuits over the ignition switches. GM spokesman James Kane said, "We are pleased with the court ruling." This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.